Hi there, Brian D'Amico here from VectorVest, and tonight I want to walk you through 5 steps that you must know to generate weekly income with options. These 5 steps lay the foundation you need so you can safely supplement your income each week so you have extra money to just relax and do the things that you truly want to do. When I asked our clients what they wanted to achieve with their investing, one of the most common things I heard was, I just want to generate a consistent income. Well, if you've ever traded options or thought about trading options, what's holding you back from generating income right now? In other words, what could be the problem? Well, first off, you feel lost. There are so many terms with options. You have no idea what they all mean. You don't know how to find an option trade or how to set it up correctly. And you end up wasting countless hours trying to figure out what to do. You end up messing up and making costly mistakes. You let one big loss wipe out any small gains you've achieved. Why? Because you freeze when trades go against you. You simply don't know what to do and when to exit. You're left standing there like a deer in the headlights, and you let losing trades crash your portfolio. Plus, when the market is as up and down as it has been, you find yourself late to the party. By the time you get in, it's too late and the market starts to go against you. Overall, you feel you're going to run out of money if you can't get things fixed. The income reserve is drying up and you fear you won't have a way to replenish it. But it doesn't have to be that way. Instead of that happening, you want to know exactly where to look to find your option trades and how to set them up correctly. You want to be in control. No more messing up or freezing when trades go against you. And you want a way to make money no matter what the market is doing, whether it's going up, down, or sideways. All so you can have a consistent source of income. A tap you can turn on or off whenever you need it. So let me ask you a question, and I want you to spend a few seconds and write down your answer. What would having an additional weekly paycheck do for you? So just pause the video, take a few seconds, answer that question, and then move on. Okay, now let's dive into the 5 steps to generate income using options. First, you need to be a seller and not a buyer. Let's take a look at what I mean. Why do I say selling options is the thing that you should be doing? Why don't you just stick to buying stocks and buying calls and buying puts? Let me ask you this. How many different ways can a stock's price move? Well, it could go up. It could also go down. And it can also move sideways. Well, when you buy something, such as buy a stock or buy a call, what direction does the stock have to move for you to make money? Yeah, it's got to go up. That means there are 2 other scenarios that could happen where you don't make money. So the people who buy benefit in one of the 3 scenarios. The people who sell benefit in 2 of the 3 scenarios. So you should put probability on your side by selling options. In other words, let's get paid to play. Here's an example of a typical trade that I see get made over and over. It's a graph of Lockheed Martin. Now the exact stock doesn't really matter, but the concept does. You'll find a stock that looks like this and you'd be bullish on it. You think it's going to go up, so you buy a call. Why do you buy a call option? Well, mainly because it's what you've always been taught to do when you started learning about options. But what ends up happening a lot of times? Either the stock doesn't go up or it doesn't go up enough, and the call that you just bought ends up expiring worthless. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. Well, what's the problem causing you to lose? You might be picking the wrong stocks. A lot of people just trade the stocks that they know or hear about on TV, but those aren't necessarily the best option trades. So problem number 1 is you're picking the wrong stocks. Problem number 2 is you're choosing the wrong strike. You might be buying an option and picking a strike that is way up here, and you buy that option because it's so much cheaper, but the stock has little to no chance of ever getting to it. The third problem is you choose the wrong time for your expiration. You select an expiration that's so close, again, because the option is much cheaper that way. But the real problem isn't that you're picking the wrong stock, or the wrong strike, or the wrong expiration. The real problem is you're on the wrong side. So many people start off with options and are taught how to buy an option. But even when you pick a good stock and you pick a closer strike price and you select an expiration that's further away, the probabilities are still not on your side. When you keep buying and losing and buying and losing and buying and losing, those losses, even though they're small, really add up. It's like a boxer who repeatedly gets hit by a jab, 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 jab. Even though he doesn't suffer a massive roundhouse, those little jabs over time do a lot of damage. Look at it this way. There's three main parts of options to talk about right now. There's the expiration date, the strike price, and the premium. In other words, the price of the option. For every option trade, there's going to be a buyer and a seller. As a buyer, the expiration date works against you. You have to be right by a certain date, and every day a thing called time decay eats away at your option. The strike price is something you need to overcome. The stock that you pick has to go in your direction for you to be right and make money. And the premium is something that you pay to someone else. That's money out of your pocket, and you are right back to the buy and hope mentality. As a seller, the expiration date works for you. Every day that goes by is more money in your pocket. The strike price is something that is easy to avoid. And the premium is something that you receive. So you get paid to trade. So the first thing that you need to understand is to become more of a seller of options than a buyer of options. Okay, step number 2 is to sell options that expire soon. It's like going to the grocery store and you see a piece of steak on the discount rack. It's cheap, right? Because it's on the discount rack. But it's going to be worthless very soon. You'll do the same thing when selling options. You'll sell options that expire soon. This serves two purposes. Number 1, it gives the buyer of that option less time to be right. And number 2, you make money faster each day as the option decays in value. Let me show you what I mean. Here you see what happens to the price of an option in relation to the number of days until expiration. Notice, you look at the bottom, there's 180 days till this option expires. And over those 180 days, it took over 120 of those days for the option to lose half of its value. And in roughly the last 60 days, it lost the rest of the value. And specifically, if you look over the last 30 days or so, the price really drops off. So if you've been buying options with less than 30 days left, time decay is eating away at your possible profits each day. Instead, you're going to be selling options in this area with about 21 to 45 days until expiration. When you do, it's like little mini deposits each day. Each day that goes by, you're keeping more and more of the premium that you collected at the start. Step number 3 is to choose low probability strikes. A mistake buyers always make is they choose strike prices that are so unrealistic. It's like setting a goal for yourself to lose 20 pounds before you go on vacation next week. Buyers make a mistake and choose strikes that are so far away. The stock has no chance of hitting it. Instead of buying those, you are going to be the seller. Let's look at what you need to do. Here's a look at Lockheed Martin again. As a seller, now let's say you're bearish on Lockheed Martin. As a seller, you want to pick a strike that has a low probability of getting hit. For example, here, I've labeled a price that is above an area of resistance, which is a great technique to use. If the stock goes up, it's likely to reverse around 225 and not likely to exceed 230. By doing this, you're setting yourself up for a high probability of having a winner. All right, now step number 4 is you need to have a built-in protection plan. When you sell options, you're going to build in a way to protect yourself just in case things go wrong. You ever hear of the term naked option selling? Well, we're not going to be naked. Let me show you how this works. Here's a graph of Visa. The date or the stock don't really matter. Just understand the concept of what's going on here. First off, it's a beautiful graph, and it's understandable to be bullish on a stock that looks like this. Traditionally, people would buy the stock here, because that was the current price at the time. They may even buy a call and use that as the strike price. Well, instead of doing it that way, you're going to do this. You're going to sell a put down here. You may even do it lower than this, like below the level of support that's there, but let's just use this as the example. Very quickly, when you sell a put, you take on obligations to buy the stock at this price, which is fine because you were bullish and willing to buy the stock anyway. When you sell the put, you receive a premium. In this example, you get $2.45 per share. So if you sold one put contract, that would mean you would receive $245. That's great, right? However, you have no downside protection in case the stock drops. You ever own a stock that missed its earnings and it drops from here way down to here like overnight? So you need a built-in protection plan to protect yourself. What you'll do is you're going to buy a put down here as insurance. Remember, when you buy a put, you now have the right to sell the stock at that price. So worst case scenario, the stock drops way down to here overnight. Well, you had obligations to buy it at $165 because of this put that you sold. But since you bought this put as protection, you can sell Visa back at this price instead of selling it back way down here or wherever it is. But that protection plan does cost something. To buy that protection, you need to spend $1.15 per share. That's okay because you received $2.45 from selling the original put, leaving you with a net credit of $1.30 per share. That means you got paid $1.30 per share to make this trade. No money out of pocket. One of the other benefits of doing this is that your break even on the trade is lowered too. Even though you have an obligation to buy the stock at $165, since you received the $1.30 in credit, your break even is lowered down to $163.70. Think about what this has done. The stock could go up and you make money. The stock could go sideways and you can make money. The stock could even go down a little bit and you could still make money. Of course, if it goes down too much, you'll have to manage that trade. Just keep in mind, having that protection in place also helps to reduce emotional trading because you now have a defined risk. Now let's talk about step number 5. Step number 5 is don't be greedy. You don't want to be chasing bigger and bigger gains because if you're not careful, all the gains you once had could evaporate. I think of that game show, Deal or No Deal. You know that show? You go on that show with nothing, right? Then all of a sudden you're being offered hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some people don't take it because greed kicks in and they're tempted by the bigger price. A lot of them either walk away with virtually nothing or something much, much lower than the previous offer. One of the main lessons our option clients have learned is less is more. Remember that old saying, half a loaf is better than none? Well, history has shown that taking profits of between 25% and 50% of the initial credit that you received on trades like the one I was showing you earlier has shown to provide increased percentage of winning trades, more profits, and it also gives you a chance to then reallocate your assets into another trade. Out of all of the techniques that we have taught our option clients, this one by far had the biggest impact. So many investors would try to squeeze out every penny of profit only to have the trade turn around and they find they're left holding options for maximum loss. So what you're going to do is you're going to start taking profits between 25 and 50% of the initial credit received. By doing that, it also resolves the greed factor. All right, I want you to take about 60 seconds and pause the video and write down what's been the most valuable for you so far and why. Once you do that, we're going to look at what to do now. All right, here at VectorVest, Ron Wheeler and our entire option education team have been working with retirees to generate weekly income using options, and there are 3 main areas we've found you need to focus on. I'd like you to draw this out with me because this is the game plan. The keys to the game plan are straightforward. Since most option traders don't know how to find or select trades, and it leaves you wasting hours of your time only to find trades that don't work out, which destroys your confidence, you need a simple way to screen stocks to find the highly probable trades that can return profits even if the market doesn't go in your direction. Next, a lot of people don't know how to set up option trades, and it leads to you making mistakes and suffering loss after loss. Instead, you need to have a simple process to set up your trades so you know what strikes to choose and which is the best expiration. Lastly, most option traders don't know when to exit a trade, and it costs you tons of money because you don't take profits at the right time, and you let one big loss wipe out most, if not all, of your gains. Instead, you need a trade management plan so you know in advance exactly when you should take profits and exactly when you should either adjust or exit a trade so you can maximize your profits and minimize your losses. Now, there's a traditional way to find, set up, and manage, and there's a better way. If you're struggling and not generating additional income, the traditional way to find trades is to either trade stocks that you know, watch TV, or just scour the internet. All of these leave you with what I consider your time wasted. The traditional way of setting up your trades is buying options that have a very little chance of making any money, and they typically expire worthless. These all leave you with a low probability of winning. And the traditional way of managing a trade is to freeze and do nothing. I call this the hold and pray method. To move to the better way, this is what we need to do. If we focus on finding trades, you need to shift to where you can easily scan for option candidates that also match what is going on in the market. By doing this, the amount of time you spend is drastically cut down, and the time you do spend is time well spent. The better way to set up your trades is selling options that have strike prices far away and an expiration that is within 21 to 45 days away. By doing this, you'll move to have a high probability of success. And instead of the traditional hold and pray method of managing your trades, you need to have everything planned ahead. You need a plan that tells you exactly when to take profits and exactly when to adjust a trade that goes against you. So in order to generate consistent income with options, you need to focus on those things. I want you to get results fast. So the fastest way we've found to do this is what we call the options paycheck. It's designed to take you step by step through the system that you need to generate safe, consistent income. And the outcome that you get from this 7-week course is a complete A to Z system to generate anywhere from 5 to 15% of income from option trades each month so that you can trade with confidence and begin to live the lifestyle that you want without fear that you're going to run out of money. Now, before I walk you through the course, I wanted to give you an idea of what's possible. I got this note from Frank shortly after he took the course, and he said, prior to taking this class, I didn't have an income generating strategy. I tried option services, but that was a great way to lose money. I'd especially get burned by holding too long, and I fell into the trap of buying cheap options, hoping to strike it big. After taking the course, I already have a profit of $7,300. Before the course, it was a crapshoot. Now I believe in the options trade I'm doing. If you want to learn how to trade options and make money on a consistent basis, then there's no better course than the options paycheck. All right, the best way to walk you through it is just to go through it module by module. In module number 1, the first thing we're going to do is cover all the building blocks that you need to know in order to build a successful options trade. A lot of people try to build a successful income portfolio, but they base that portfolio on a weak foundation of knowledge. And it's like trying to build a skyscraper with a foundation that's only 6 inches deep in sand. Now, if you do that, everything comes crashing down. The outcome that you get from module 1 is that you're going to know exactly how calls and puts work so that you can confidently use them in your trades. You'll know which terms to pay attention to and which to ignore so you don't waste time or get frustrated. And what we'll do is we're going to lay out the 5-phase option income system, which will be the basis for everything that we do throughout the course. In module 2, That's all about getting paid whether the market is rising or falling. The market doesn't just go up, so you need to know what to do to generate income if the market goes up or down. The outcome that you get from Module 2 is you'll know how to combine calls and puts to create income trades that have a 70% or better success rate. You'll know which is the right trade to use when the market goes up and which to use when the market goes down. And you'll have the core principles of setting up these trades so you limit your risk and eliminate emotional trading. In Module 3, that's all about getting paid when the market moves sideways. This is important because if you don't know what to do, those sideways markets can be very frustrating and costly. Just when you think it's safe to jump in, the market turns around on you. The outcome you get from Module 3 is you'll know the most powerful neutral market income trade available and how to use it to double your income without increasing your risk. Then in Module 4, that's all about finding your trades quickly. This is important because you don't want to be wasting hours of your life digging around looking for trades. The outcome here is you're going to know how to quickly find the best stocks for your trades, both bullish, bearish, and neutral. How to match your trades to the market so you start to stack probability in your favor, and how to use indexes to generate income. And sometimes these index trades are the best trades to do. After that, in Module 5, that's all about maximizing the way that you set up your trades. This is important because you want to put all of the probabilities that you can in your favor. The outcome is you will know how to get paid top dollar for your trades. And then in Module 6, that's where you learn to prepare yourself for what could happen after you place the trade. This is important because you don't want to be the deer in the headlights. You need to know exactly what you'll do before the situation arises. The outcome is you'll have a game plan in place prior to placing the trades so you know when you will exit, whether the trade goes for you or against you. You'll also learn the best repair techniques, which can help you minimize losses and can also help you turn losing trades into winners. And then in Module 7, it's time to get ready to place your trades. If you don't know this, you could go out and place option trades and lose out on a lot of money just because you didn't know how to enter the order correctly. The outcome you get from this module is you'll know how to place orders to enter and to exit trades so you keep as much premium as possible. By the time that we're done, you'll have that straight line system that we talked about to generate safe, consistent income month after month after month. For example, I got this note from Jim. He posted to our Facebook group as a graduate of the course, and he said that he's retired and on the conservative side. He said all he has done is follow the rules set forth in the course, and over a 1-month period, he had collected profits of $750, $1,200, $950, $900, and $1,150. He said, not bad for a guy that only sold covered calls before taking the class. Now, in addition to the course, you're also going to get a few bonuses if you order before registration closes. So let me tell you about those bonuses. Now, the first bonus is this. To help you actually implement the things that you learn in the course, you're going to get 7 live mastery support sessions. These are designed to help you actually implement the things that you learn in the course. We'll take a look at the things that you're doing and the questions that you have and guide you. We'll be there to guide you through the entire process. If you can't make those sessions, no problem at all. You'll be able to submit your question ahead of time in the private Facebook group or via email. We'll either answer it directly or we'll answer it during the live support session, and we'll send you a link to the recording so you can hear your question getting answered. Speaking of that private Facebook community, that's another bonus. So the private Facebook group is something that you'll get access to once you join the course. So once you join as an added bonus, you'll be invited to join this private Facebook community, which is purely dedicated to investors just like you going through the options paycheck. You'll have access to other motivated retirees and option traders just like yourself. Just think about it. How would being around a support group like this increase the speed at which you learn and implement? You can ask questions in the group and get answers for more clarity. Plus, Ron and I will be in there, and so will our whole team, to help you out. Plus, that group is great because we hold each other accountable for getting things done. Another bonus that you get is you'll also be pre-registered into our members-only group coaching program for our Options Pro clients. So you're going to join Ron Wheeler each week, where he'll give you weekly trade recommendations, additional coaching for option trading, techniques that are beyond the income trades taught in the Options Paycheck course. It is a complete Q&A coaching session where Ron will make sure all your questions get answered. And last bonus, but definitely not least, is the Options Pro tool itself. So if you currently do not have access to Options Pro, we want to make sure that you have access to it during the course. So you're going to get 7 weeks of access to this tool. All right, so let's recap everything that you will get with the offer today. You're going to get the full Options Paycheck training course valued at over $1,900. You're going to get those 7 live mastery support sessions. Plus, you're going to get the weekly group coaching and those trade recommendations each week. You're also going to get the access to the Options Pro software if you don't already have it, and that private Facebook group. The total value of everything here is over $5,400. So here's what we'd like you to do. Ron and I would like to roll up our sleeves and work with you for the next 7 weeks. And together, we're going to turn your portfolio into an income machine. Even if you've never had success with options, we're going to do this. We're going to take you down the journey of all 7 modules so that you know how to generate income with options. So here's what I'd love you to do. If you want to join us and have us take you by the hand and help you install an option income system in your portfolio, then instead of the $5,000, let's work together for only $995 US. Here's where to go. Go to www.optionspaycheck.com. This price is an early bird price only. The price will go up Tuesday at midnight, so you've got to act fast. Now, there is a money-back guarantee, but I want you to listen very carefully because this is a really tight refund policy. If you do the work, if you come to the classes or watch the recordings, do the assignments, take the quizzes, and you're not satisfied that you have learned how to generate income, you will then be able to receive your money back after the course is over. But if you don't do the work, you won't be eligible for a refund. The reason we have such a tight refund policy is because we only want to attract those who are incredibly excited to jump in and do the work and get the results. I want to attract those serious investors, and in order to do that, when we make a really tight refund policy like this, we only attract those people who are serious about getting results. I also found that the other members in the course appreciate it too, because they know that only serious people are in there with them, in there in the webinars and in the Facebook group. It makes for a great community. I got this note from Richard, who just recently took the course, and he said, I wanted some way to make money in both up markets and down markets. This class has given me the ability. In just the second week of class, I started trading options using the system that Ron teaches, and I more than covered the cost for the class. Having the plan presented to us as a basis to go from has given me complete confidence to move forward. Before the class, I would invest in options and either win big or lose big. Now that I know I'm not helpless when things move against me, makes me look forward to investing. When things go wrong, I can fix it. It is very freeing. Having such a clear plan of attack is all one can ask for. So I want you to ask yourself something. Ask yourself, what will it cost you if you do nothing? How much money will you lose? How much potential profit will you miss out on? How much time and energy will you spend trying to do this on your own? And then I want you to ask yourself one other thing. How would your life be different if you do it and it works? All right, here are just a few more notes I recently got from graduates of the course. You know, Freddie says free only means no cost, and no cost is what I'm getting. This morning, I've just cleared $980 out of an SPX trade taken out on Monday. I've not had a month since I've started that I've not made more than the cost of the software. I covered a year of the software and the class cost in the first month. So as you can see, I'm getting more than it costs, which to me is free. Max says, I completed the course in July and started trading weekly options every week since then. Most of my trades are on the SPX and the SPY, and so far, all winners and no losses yet. Many thanks to Ron for the excellent teaching and to Brian for the excellent support. And you can see Steve said, I took the Options Paycheck course but just joined the Facebook group. I'm enjoying the chats and I really appreciate the course. I too just closed out of my first SPX trade for over $1,000 in 2 days. Lucky timing, but now I have the knowledge to use timing to my advantage. And the Dish and FDX trades paid for the class. So I'm both fortunate and very impressed. I concur about learning more here in 2 months than I learned in the previous 5 years regarding options trading. And you can see Ron down at the bottom says he closed out of an SPX Condor this morning for over $1,000 profit. And he had a couple others over $300 and over $400. So some great posts on our private Facebook community. I want you to think about one other thing. There's a saying that the best time to plant an oak tree is 20 years ago, so you can be sitting under it and enjoying its shade today. Do you know when the second best time is? The second best time is today. It's not too late to begin to prepare yourself for retirement and learn to generate income. So again, go to www.optionspaycheck.com and get yourself registered now before the price goes up. This price will go up at midnight on Tuesday, and then registration closes for good the Tuesday after that. If you try to register after that, you're going to miss out. So take a step towards financial freedom, and we'll see you in the Paycheck course.